Hello, this is the LEGO Technic Ultralight Helicopter set, or so it is called. It is a 2-in-1 set, meaning you can build one of two possible official build options at a time with the parts included. This is the build that's featured on the front of the box. It's kind of the main one, and it is not a helicopter. It is actually an autogyro. It is powered by the propeller at the rear, which gives it forward thrust, and then the main rotor would just spin up on its own. It would be a freewheeling rotor in real life, in the real thing. But LEGO in this case has actually geared the two together. They've geared the main rotor and the thrust propeller back here together, and they actually have a gear that sticks through on the bottom, actually a pair of them side by side, to allow you to easily spin that up. And when you do spin it up, not only does it run both of the props, if you will, it also runs a inline 2-cylinder engine right there. And this is very smooth. It moves very easily. These wider gears have very little chatter and very little lash. They just run very nice and smoothly. So that's just a good feel there. It works well. Probably the main rotor is a little bit on the short side for the size of this thing. That could have been extended out for sure, but I think the overall thing looks pretty good. Ton of stickers on this, as you can see clearly from the outside. It actually does have one additional feature that is hooked up to a Technic mechanism. That's this control stick right here, which controls the rudder. So it turns side to side. I would have preferred placement of this farther forward, even inside of the cockpit section if possible, to make it feel a little bit more realistic. But you know, it's nice to have one other thing. It's interesting that the seat here uses stickers, actually 2 stickers, one for the back, one down below. That's not something that I'm personally familiar with. Nose gear up here. The side gear are way over on the sides at angles, which is a little bit awkward, but it rolls fine on the ground. Maybe feels like it has a little bit of friction in there. Because of their angle, you can actually spin this thing from side to side like this. They don't hesitate too much to do that. But overall, it's a pretty satisfying build. Everything works as expected. It does have the 40th anniversary 3-long lift arm piece, which is a printed piece for all the Technic sets for 2017. Let's look at the alternate build. This is called Experimental Airplane, and it is very clearly, very strongly inspired by classic 1980s designs from a famous experimental aircraft designer known as Burt Rutan. This has the same sort of configuration that he was famous for with a couple of his production craft, with the small forward canards, a lot of dihedral in the wings here, or maybe those are just vortex steering devices, and a pusher prop at the back. Again, proportions here, not entirely realistic, but believable enough. They use the same setup for the cockpit here. The sides are actually closed in a little bit by the tips of the autogyro's main rotors. And here they have switched around the configuration of the engine to make it a shorter block, and it's horizontally opposed. Very nice. It works out pretty well. Here you end up just spinning up the prop itself, and they don't really have any remote way to spin up the engine, you know, to do any kind of magic with it to make it look like it's going on its own. But I think it looks pretty nice. It's always nice to see pistons going in and out like that. In this case, side to side. It's a lasting design. Nothing else can be done with this as far as action features are concerned, or any transformations, or rotation of gear to fold them out of the way or anything. What you see really is what you get, but I think it looks very nice. It's a very displayable thing. I think that the stickers really do great justice to this model, to the other one as well, but I feel like they work even better with this one to make it look very sporty and somewhat classic. It has a little bit of a, I guess, 80s kind of style to it. Maybe a little bit 90s, but mostly 80s. Again, the gear are at that odd angle, but they work at least. This leaves behind a very important piece, not brand new for this set, but I love this thing. I look forward to being able to get more and more of these in more sets in the future. It's a nice looking set in either official configuration, though heavily reliant upon the stickers for kind of the visual interest and visual texture of it. I definitely very much prefer the main build for the technicness of it, the stuff that's actually built up and geared. The tail mechanism is not that impressive to me, but all the stuff in here that's geared I think works out very well. I actually like the look of this one better myself just personally, but it doesn't do as much. Uses less pieces and has less Technic stuff going on with it. You know, it's mostly just a Technic build for the looks. Let me know which build is your favorite and what you think of the set on the whole. I've got a lot more work to do, so I'll be bringing you more videos very soon. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.